Ugly? Oh, oh, okay.
Same thing.
Oh, okay.
Watch.
Yeah, okay. We could test her right now. Right now. Right now, ugly. Everything. Oh, you thought you was gonna see fine ugly, bitch. You wasn't. Try to beat you up. Come downstairs. You know you in front of the courthouse trying to act like you're tough. Yeah, stop. Yeah, let's go around the corner. Let's go around the corner. Come on.
As it was when I first got here, it was really crazy. I think the whole I think when I first got here, they wanted to show everybody that I'm not different from anybody else.
Remy Ma is a name that regularly appears whenever people discuss the most influential women in hip-hop. For many fans, she represents strength, lyrical ability, and the determination required to survive both the streets and the music industry. Others see her story as complicated, filled with legal issues, personal struggles, and difficult decisions that shaped her path. Both views are true. Her life is not a simple success story. It is a long journey marked by hardship, ambition, talent, setbacks, and resilience. She was born Reminisce Smith on May 30, 1980, in the Bronx, New York, a borough known for both its cultural importance in hip-hop history and the serious social challenges many residents faced during the 1980s and 1990s. Her early years were shaped by poverty, instability, and responsibilities that most children never experience. While many young kids spent their time enjoying school activities or playing outside, Remy often had to take on the role of caretaker at home. Addiction problems within her family meant that she frequently helped look after her younger siblings, cooking meals, managing household duties, and trying to maintain some sense of order in an environment that often felt unpredictable. The wider neighborhood was also dealing with the effects of the crack epidemic, which deeply affected many families across New York City. Violence, financial stress, and emotional trauma were common realities. Growing up surrounded by these conditions forced Remy to mature quickly. She learned early that life could change suddenly, and that survival often required emotional toughness. Instead of seeing childhood as a time of safety, she experienced it as a period of constant pressure. Exposure to violence and conflict also influenced how she saw the world. She later explained that fights, injuries, and emotional pain were often treated as ordinary parts of everyday life in her surroundings. When young people grow up in such environments, they often develop strong defensive personalities, believing they must stay alert at all times to protect themselves. Remy adopted that mindset early, deciding she would never allow anyone to intimidate or control her. This determination later became part of her public image, shaping how fans and critics perceived her. Music entered her life as a form of escape. Writing rhymes allowed her to release the anger, sadness, and stress she carried inside. As a teenager, she began recording early tracks that reflected the harsh.
Was disappointed with the label's support of her debut solo effort, There's Something About Remy. She also publicly criticized Terror Squad leader Fat Joe for failing to support her debut.
Yes, I'm definitely switching labels. We working on signing those release papers as we speak. So I will be definitely switching labels. I don't know where I'm going yet, but it's going to be with somebody that got the same drive like me, that want to win.
Realities she witnessed daily. Her lyrics were emotional, honest, and often dark, revealing the thoughts of someone dealing with responsibilities and emotional weight far beyond her age. Even in those early recordings, people around her noticed her strong delivery, sharp wordplay, and ability to tell vivid stories through rap. At the same time, her environment sometimes pushed her toward confrontations. Before she ever became famous, she experienced legal trouble that demonstrated how difficult it was to separate personal survival instincts from aggressive reactions. In 1996, when she was still a teenager living in a Bronx homeless shelter, she was arrested after an argument with another girl reportedly turned physical. 2 years later, she faced additional accusations connected to property damage and threats. These incidents helped build an early reputation for being confrontational, even before the world knew her name. Despite those challenges, her talent continued attracting attention. Word began spreading through the Bronx music scene about a young female rapper whose skills could compete with anyone. Her reputation eventually reached Christopher Rios, better known as Big Pun, one of the most respected rappers of the late 1990s. Big Pun was curious about the stories he had heard and arranged to meet her. When they finally met, he asked her to perform a freestyle rap. She delivered an intense performance that immediately impressed him, proving she had both talent and confidence. Big Pun soon began mentoring her, introducing her to industry connections and giving her opportunities to appear on music projects. She adopted the stage name Remy Martin and started recording alongside him, gaining exposure that many aspiring artists only dream about. For a young woman from a difficult
Pun, like it wasn't a question of what it is.
Wasn't Moondog no more.
Nah, everybody knew what it was when I met him. Like they knew what it was. And he lived around the corner from my mom. I'm rapping for like 3-4 minutes straight. He's like, all right, that's dope. And he looked at me dead in my face and was like, but that could be your only hot rap, so let me hear another one. So I do it again, like, all right, like this is what I do, right? And then she's like, so we right here, like, and I'm like, what do you mean? Like, I was so confused. I had never heard of a ghostwriter, nothing. That was even so unheard of to me.
This moment represented a major turning point. She was no longer just a local rapper with potential. She was entering the professional hip-hop world. After Big Pun passed away in 2000, rapper Fat Joe continued supporting her career and brought her into his collective Terror Squad. Being part of that group placed her in a strong position to reach mainstream audiences. Her confidence grew, her performances improved, and fans began recognizing her distinctive voice and aggressive lyrical style. Her biggest breakthrough came in 2004 when Terror Squad released the single Lean Back. The song became a massive global hit and reached the #1 position on the Billboard Hot 100 chart. Remy's verse received particular attention, introducing her to listeners who had never heard her before. Suddenly, she was no longer just an underground talent. She was a nationally recognized artist performing on major stages, appearing on television, and receiving award nominations. Many observers predicted she would soon become one of the dominant female rappers of her generation. However, success in the music industry rarely follows a straight path. When she released her solo album There's Something About Remy, based on a true story in 2006, the project did not perform as strongly as expected. Sales numbers fell short of predictions, leaving her frustrated and disappointed. She believed the record label did not promote the album effectively and felt that the support she expected from industry partners was missing. This disappointment added emotional stress to a life already shaped by years of hardship. At the same time, fame brought new pressures. Public attention meant that every action, every comment, and every conflict became part of a larger narrative about her personality. Some fans admired her boldness and authenticity, while critics often described her as aggressive or short-tempered. These mixed reactions created an environment where she constantly felt judged, which sometimes made her defensive behavior even stronger. As the years passed, personal challenges and legal controversies became part of the public conversation surrounding her name. Some of these incidents led to serious consequences that temporarily interrupted her career and forced her to step away from the spotlight. During that period, she had time to reflect on her life, her decisions, and the direction she wanted her future to take. Many people who followed her story saw this period as a turning point, believing it changed her perspective on relationships, responsibility, and personal growth. When she eventually returned to music, she carried both the experience of past mistakes and the determination to rebuild her reputation. She worked to reconnect with fans, release new music, and reestablish herself in a rapidly changing hip-hop landscape. Younger artists had entered the scene while she was away, meaning she had to prove once again that her talent still mattered. Through collaborations, performances, and media appearances, she slowly regained visibility.
Allegedly attacked by rapper Remy Ma is recovering in the hospital now. Is this photo today showing the damage to her left eye. Police charge Remy Ma with misdemeanor assault.
I believe it firmly that she's innocent. Are you happy with today?
I'm innocent. You can always say that.
Her personal life also became part of her public narrative. Her marriage to rapper Papoose attracted attention because many people viewed their relationship as a story of loyalty and commitment during difficult times. Fans often pointed to their bond as an example of stability in an industry where relationships frequently face intense pressure. Over the years, their partnership became a significant element of how the public perceived her identity beyond music. Still, her story remained complex. Some people focused mainly on her achievements and resilience, celebrating her as a symbol of survival and determination. Others continued highlighting her legal issues and controversies, arguing that those moments shaped her legacy just as much as her musical success. The reality is that both aspects exist together. Her life cannot be understood by looking at only one side. One of the most powerful parts of her journey is the way it reflects the long-term impact of childhood trauma. Growing up in an environment filled with stress, violence, and instability can shape a person's emotional responses for many years. Even when someone achieves success, wealth, and recognition, the psychological effects of early experiences do not disappear automatically. Many observers believe that some of the conflicts she faced later in life were connected to the survival instincts she developed as a child. Despite the setbacks, she has continued to demonstrate resilience. Returning to the spotlight after major challenges requires confidence and determination, especially in an industry that often moves quickly and rarely waits for anyone. Her ability to maintain relevance, release new music, and remain part of the hip-hop conversation shows the strength of her influence. Today, discussions about Remy Ma often highlight both her accomplishments and the lessons her life offers. She represents the possibility of rising from difficult beginnings to achieve success on a global stage. At the same time, her story reminds people that fame does not automatically solve emotional struggles or erase past experiences. Growth often requires reflection, accountability, and the willingness to change. Many younger female rappers who entered the industry after her have acknowledged the doors opened by artists from her era. During the early 2000s, there were far fewer women receiving major label support or radio exposure. Artists like Remy Ma helped prove that female rappers could deliver powerful performances, compete lyrically with male counterparts, and command large audiences. Her presence in the industry contributed to creating more opportunities for the next generation. Her legacy continues to spark debate because it contains both inspiration and caution. Some people celebrate her as a hip-hop pioneer whose talent and persistence helped shape the genre. Others view her life as an example of how personal decisions can affect even the most promising careers. The truth lies somewhere between those perspectives. She is a talented artist who achieved major success, faced serious obstacles, learned difficult lessons, and continued moving forward despite setbacks. Over time, public opinion about her has shifted several times. At different moments, she has been seen as a rising star, a controversial figure, a survivor rebuilding her life, and a respected veteran in the rap world. These changing perceptions show how complex human stories are, especially when they unfold under constant public attention. Few artists experience a perfectly smooth journey, and her path reflects the reality that success and struggle often exist side by side. Looking back at her life from childhood to the present reveals a clear pattern. Determination has always been at the center of her story. From caring for her siblings at a young age, to pushing her way into the competitive hip-hop scene, to rebuilding her career after serious setbacks, she has repeatedly shown a refusal to give up. That persistence is one reason her name continues to carry weight in conversations about hip-hop history. In the end, Remy Ma's story is not just about music charts, awards, or controversies. It is about a woman who grew up in difficult circumstances, discovered a powerful talent, and fought to turn that talent into a career. It is also about the complicated reality that personal growth does not happen instantly, and that past experiences often continue influencing present decisions. Her journey reflects resilience, mistakes, recovery, ambition, and the ongoing effort to redefine oneself over time. Whether someone views her primarily as a hip-hop legend, a controversial public figure, or a symbol of perseverance, her life remains an important chapter in the story of modern rap music. Her experiences continue to spark conversation because they reflect real human struggles rather than a perfect success narrative. And perhaps that is why her name still carries such strong recognition. Her story feels authentic, complicated, and undeniably real.